I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out.
You don't want to live with no regrets. I hate to see what's happening to Gervonta Davis right now. I hope he get it together. That rematch is out there. It'll just be sad if this derailed him.
I'm sure you saw the news what took place earlier today with Gervonta Davis being arrested.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this. I heard whispers that Devin Haney has a Hall of Fame career right now. I heard the whispers. But guess what? We're not paying attention to this. We're on our way to the Mount Rushmore of boxing.
In response to Gervonta Davis's arrest, the boxing community talks about the potential cancellation of the Lamont Roach rematch. Bernard Hopkins has urged Gerv Davis to put his family first and expressed his hope that he will be released soon. He stressed the need of mending his relationship with his children's mother and advised Davis to maintain his optimism and concentrate on his job in order to make progress.
I'm sure you saw the news about Gervonta Davis being arrested once again. Just give me your thoughts,
Unfortunately, man, I hope he come out. You know what I mean? Everybody else come out. I'm not with the domestic violence thing, man, but I hope that, he get that straightened out and he get back to focus on his family and his career. Family first and then career second. But I just wish both his ex-girl, his kid's mother, can get things together and look forward and be positive going forward.
A well-known boxing commentator, Antonio Tarver, expressed concern over Gervonta Davis's recent circumstances. He highlighted that success in sports is insufficient on its own. Even though Davis has shown himself in the ring, Tarver thinks the young fighter needs to focus on his own growth. Additionally, he chastised the present generation, pointing out that many of them lack enough mentorship and direction, particularly when it comes to handling pressure and celebrity. Tarver claims that this more fundamental problem is reflected in Gervonta's present difficulties, and seeing someone with such potential suffer failures is discouraging, particularly when a big bout is approaching.
Into it, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but there's this mindset. The fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently, he's gonna fight Jake Paul. Like, it's put in and out of boxing right now.
Hey man, I don't know, but get these guys the bag so they can get the hell on if they not committed and dedicated to the sport. All they want is a bag. Give them a bag so they can go, bro. I mean, let these fighters that really want the shit. Let's parade them. Let's get behind them. Let's support them. Let's build them. I'm not saying I don't know what happened. But I just hope and pray that young man get it together. He's at the top of his career, prime of his career. I would want him to be remembered more by the things that he's doing in the ring rather than out. But, sometimes you got to win in life, too, before you can get in that ring and win. And sometimes life is harder than any opponent that we can face. And I just hope he get it together, bro. I feel like a lot of these young men don't have no mentors, bro. It ain't no more handlers in the game, bro. It ain't nobody taking care of the camp. These guys out here on their own frequency, bro. And I just think there's no more leaders in the game, bro. They're not going to where that real energy is that can really humble these guys a little bit. We only got a short period of time to be professional boxers. This shit is over quick, bro. And you don't ever want to live with no regrets. That'll hunt you, bro. That'll hunt you when you know you had the ability to be the best. You don't want to live with no regrets. I hate to see what's happening to Gervonta Davis right now. I hope he get it together. That rematch is out there. It'll just be sad if this derailed him.
Sports journalist Mike Coers sent shockwaves through the boxing community with his tweet. Gervonta Davis arrested yet again, slated for OG-16 rematch with Lamont Roach that's now in even more jeopardy. The post has raised major concerns about the highly anticipated August 16th rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. With Davis facing fresh legal trouble, the fight's status is now uncertain, prompting widespread speculation about whether it will be delayed or canceled altogether. The timing of Davis's arrest couldn't be worse, as the bout had been building momentum as one of the most awaited matchups of the year. Fans and insiders are now questioning what's next. for both fighters.
Certified trapper, make my money off the strip, make my money off the streets, make my money off the cook, make my money off the bags, make my money off the drugs. Rockin' with me, I'ma throw you what you spend, pay me what you.
In response to the mounting controversy, Lamont Roach addressed the situation with quiet confidence. In a short video shared from inside his training gym, Roach simply stated, "We're still here," signaling that he remains focused and prepared. Regardless of the turmoil on Davis's side, his calm, disciplined approach has earned respect from fans who admire his professionalism in uncertain times. Meanwhile, Bill Haney, respected voice in the boxing world, declined to comment on Davis's legal issues when asked. His silence mirrors a growing sentiment among industry insiders, who appear reluctant to speculate without more information. As the situation develops, the boxing world waits to see whether this marquee fight can still go on as planned or if Davis's troubles will force a major shake-dash up.
I'm sure you saw the news what took place earlier today with Gervonta Davis.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I heard whispers that Devin Haney has a Hall of Fame career right now. I heard the whispers. But guess what? We're not paying attention to this. We're on our way to the Mount Rushmore of boxing.
The boxing world has been divided in its reaction, with growing suspicion among fans about the timing of recent events involving Gervonta Davis. The fighter has faced several legal issues that seem to arise near major bouts, leading some to question whether these are mere coincidences or calculated moves to avoid certain matchups. While there's no concrete evidence of deliberate action, the repeated pattern has raised eyebrows. Speculation intensified when a tweet from user Kyle Makachev claimed the anticipated rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach had been cancelled. Breaking news: Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach 2 is cancelled, the tweet read. Though no official statement had been released at the time, the post sparked a flurry of online and offline discussion, deepening uncertainty around the highly anticipated clash. Adding to the conversation, boxing champion Claressa Shields shared candid thoughts on Davis. She praised his in-ring talent but pointed to emotional struggles revealed in his interviews. Shields suggested that therapy or professional guidance could benefit Davis not as a sign of weakness, but as a way to nurture his mental health alongside physical training. Her comments were received as thoughtful and supportive, urging Davis to seek balance and prioritize emotional well-being in a demanding sport.
Gervonta is a hell of a fighter, but he needs to get his mental together. When I hear some of his interviews and I see some of the stuff that he's saying, I can just tell that he's not in love with the sport no more. I can tell that he didn't get his just due. I mean, it was crazy to hear that he said he got evicted out of a house or something like that. And I was just like, what in the world? And like that type of stuff, when you've been fighting and knocking people out and fighting main events. I mean, he fought four main events here at T-Mobile against some of the best fighters. And it's just like, to see that he got evicted from his home and all this other stuff. Now he got kids and, you know, he's not signed with TMT. Mayweather, yeah. Promotions, anymore. Yeah. It's like when I hear him talk, he's like he want to be a nicer guy for his daughters, and he don't want to be
therapy.
Yeah. I think he would be better, and even a better fighter if he went and did therapy like ASAP. Because I can just tell like he's a little sad, he's a little depressed, even before this fight. So I think it'd be a better fight. I think that Lamont has the mental edge. I think anybody right now would have the mental edge over Tank, because to me, he just needs to take some serious time to deal with whatever he's having to deal with. Nobody knows what it is, but I mean, me being a fighter, I have done plenty of camps where I was depressed and where I was going through anxiety. So it's not an easy thing to get over, especially when you don't have the support from certain people that you used to have.
D. Davis has already discussed the emotional toll of playing against talented opponents. He revealed a more vulnerable side to his public persona when he acknowledged feeling pressured when competing against competitors with extraordinary skill. This candid moment demonstrated that stress and self-doubt are common among top sportsmen. His remarks demonstrate how a fighter's journey can be impacted by internal obstacles, just as much as by external ones.
I feel pressure. It's not me fighting home, but the pressure I feel is from what I want to do to, do to that person type stuff. Or like, or like, that's showing off my skills. That's showing that I ain't ready to be fucked with. So that's the pressure.
And why do you think this fight is...
And Raphael, a boxing commentator, stated that it was already doubtful that Roach will rematch on OG16. Once more, his tweet confirms the mounting suspicion that Davis never gave the rematch his whole attention. It appears that the excitement for the fight was missing even prior to current events, whether because of other priorities, emotional strain, or diversions. The future of the fight is now much more uncertain due to the additional obstacles. Fans are making analogies to 2022 when Davis was in legal hot water 10 days prior to a brawl with Ryan Garcia. This historical parallel is rekindling conjecture. Critics contend that there appears to be a pattern of significant problems that arise right before important games, raising doubts about whether this is intended.
Shot of Tank. Listen, innocent until proven guilty. I don't know what transpired. I don't know any of the details. This is the information that is available to us as of this recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate news because Tank Davis is scheduled to fight, and he's scheduled to fight in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, Pacific Standard Time. So that means really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? You know, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before in the past. And since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or, you know, postpone his fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial or anything like that. However, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? You left Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing. So this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia that you're getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than you. And, you know, now you have something in the background. This, I can't say is news to Gervonta Davis in terms of him having little run-ins, because he had a run-in with some type of vehicular hit and run or whatever the situation is. So he's had court cases before. We'll see how it all plays out.
Reports that Lamont Roach had harsh things to say about Davis exploded on social media. Roach apparently claimed that Davis had backed out of fear, according to World Boxing News. He's scared to get embarrassed, Roach asserted. He went on to say that he is prepared to fight Davis directly and humble him. Either move forward or move aside. Even in the absence of official confirmation of a fight, tensions between the two boxers are still rising. Davis has frequently discussed his ambition to become a better boxer, father, and person during his career. Retirement and his desire to concentrate on his personal life have been highlighted. Even while he hasn't lately reiterated those intentions, this most recent obstacle might mark a sea change.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast, 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, you know, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is, and wanting to be a softer person, you know, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead a limelight, it seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, you know, because, you know, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, you know, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, you know, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, you know, things get old, you know, your whole life gets scrutinized. No matter what moves he makes, you know what I mean, it's going to be accepted by some and, you know, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired of it. You know, living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. You know, I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talked about his heart no longer being in it, or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens, and, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in the ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself, I've had a great time, watching his career. I wish him the best in his personal life. He didn't say he's retiring immediately. He just said he's going to fight 3 times in 2025, and then it'll be over. Whoever those 3 fights he chooses to fight, we have to respect it. And I would just say, enjoy him while he's here, because, everybody in sports, whether it's boxing or otherwise, is only going to be active for a certain amount of time. And once it's over, it's over. So instead of, Monday morning quarterbacking, ridiculing, or criticizing, I think he's been a very special talent, and we need to enjoy him while he's here, because the end may be really near, according to what he's saying. That's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.